What is up, my brothers and sisters? So I came across some revelations yesterday on some news articles, and I came across this one. I did a video on this the other day about um, the sulfur thing, and so there was couple of places in Texas that were complaining of this sulfur smell amongst many other places. The derailment in Yellowstone, they're telling their people don't drink the water because there's sulfur coming from the trains amongst asphalt. Apparently, there's an up-to-date there's update on news on the derailment that I'll have to look into, um, that has recently surfaced, and so Indiana, amongst many other cities, were also smelling this sulfuric acid smell. So you have the derailment in Montana that is smelling this. Well, they're warning their people of sulfuric oxide or whatever in the water. So they're saying that the water has toxicity. But in Indiana, they were complaining about sulfur smell in the air where the wildfires are. Then in Texas, there was a couple places that were complaining of sulfur smell. Well, this was their answer. Texas pipeline operators released or flared tons of gas to avert explosions during heat wave. Texas pipeline operators released or flared tons of gas to avert explosions during heat wave. You know, the lies get more comedic as they go along, because I was under the assumption that something had happened at these factories. Now it turns out that they were purposely doing this, right? There was no accident. They were purposely doing this, right? So what's really going on? Because I've said what's going on. These are their lies to cover up what is really going on, just like I say about everything else. Texas pipeline operators released or flared tons of gas to avert explosions during heat wave. One company, Targa Resources, vented more than 500,000 pounds of toxins into the air during 17 reported events over a week-long period of extreme heat. In one instance, the $17 billion company vented 238,000 pounds of gas when facilities in its pipeline dialed back operations to prevent them from shutting down due to high ambient temperatures. In another, it released 168,000 pounds to prevent compressor units from overheating due to the high ambient temperature. These are just huge, major released events, said Wilma Sumbra, an environmental chemist and MacArthur Fellow in Louisiana. They're basically saying bad for the air. That gas contains a whole host of chemicals that cause cancer and chronic diseases. Then I came across this. U.S. hostage envoy says call from Paul Whelan after Brittany Griner's release was one of the toughest. So they chose to get Brittany Griner over this guy right here. At 9:30 in the morning, they were basically telling him they're only going to let us have one person, and they're choosing Brittany. Why the hell would they choose an insignificant dude that plays WNBA basketball? That's a dude. That's not a chick. That's a dude. Yeah, that dude's like 7 foot something, and he talks like this. I'm Brittany Griner, and I just want to tell everyone how happy I am to be back from Russia. Look, if it were up to me, this guy should have been first in line. Priority. Sorry, Mr. Griner, but, this dude's been stuck for some time. And when it comes to priorities, this guy's family misses him more than yours. Right? Like, he's been gone longer. I'm sure they're torturing him and doing crazy things, right? Not to mention, it's like this dude, Brittany Griner, hasn't even apologized or said how he feels about this guy right here. Never mentions this dude, right? Like, there's just no appreciation whatsoever. Anyways, back to the story. So, I made a video of what is going on with all the gases and the sulfuric smell, right? So, here we go. Let's find the video. Here we go. Remember, they were saying, "Oh no, there was an accident at the facility." Accident at the I thought there was an accident at the facility, remember?
Here we go. So let's hear the news.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Simmons in for Reka. It's been a busy day with a lot of breaking news, and we're going to walk you through it all to get you caught up. So first up, the shelter in place for parts of Texas.
Shelter in place, yeah, because they tried to say there was an accident at the facility.
Yay!
Inside the emergency management office, they tell us it happened at Marathon Refinery at around 12:50. Something inside caused for sulfur dioxide to be
So they're making it sound like it was an accident.
released into the air. Now take a look. We got some video up.
Thank God they have authentic footage.
So, and remember I said it doesn't look like anything's like this is the video they showed.
It doesn't look like any fire.
Yeah, it just looked like a regular day of plumes coming out of the smokestacks. That was it. So what's really going on here? Now, Paul Begley had a lady who says the same thing about where she's from in Indiana. She's talking about the smoke and you can barely breathe and there's all this stuff. Let me see, where's it at? They just had it the other day. I don't know where it is now. There it is.
Here in northern Indiana, the Whiting BP plant. And this is, we've had trouble with the Whiting BP plant. According to WNDU News, you weren't alone if you smelled something that resembled burning rubber or salt.
So they're trying to say that there was an accident at this facility as well. But wait a minute. I thought this was happening because of the heat wave. There's not a heat wave in Indiana. No. So then what's the purpose of them? So then they're chalking it up to an accident in Indiana. But wait, I thought it was an accident here in Texas. Turns out it was purposely done because of the heat wave. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, don't believe the lies.